magical puppy. He's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you're only a wish away. Merlin, the magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make all his wishes come true.
Ernie the harbour master prides himself on running a tidy and ship-shape harbour. Merlin, he growls, I like a word with you. I know you're in there, now come on out. You have some explaining to do. Look at this place, Ernie says. It looks like a tip. How can one little dog make so much mess?
If you think this is a mess, you should see what I did to Miss Parkway's garden.
But Ernie is not in the mood for laughing. You get no breakfast until this mess is cleaned up. Remember, a man's home is his castle, and in my harbour, that goes for puppies too. And I know you're doing that.
Don't look at me. It's not mine.
Well, somebody dropped it in my bowl.
If you find another with a little more meat on, you will let me know, won't you?
There's something fishy going on here, and where there's something fishy, there is usually a cat. No one makes a fool out of Merlin and gets away with it. I'll show that cat.
What cat's that?
Oh, right, well, call that a draw then, shall we?
What is going on? I thought I told you to clean up this mess. Look, it's even worse if such a thing were possible.
Well, that's all right for you to say. It was that cat, Oscar, throwing things and copying me and fighting. And I've been busy.
But Ernie is not amused. Now, either you clean up this mess or you're grounded. A man's home is his castle, so look lively. 10 minutes.
God, it'd be great if this was my castle. Then I could throw that cat in prison and boss everyone else about and...
Then Merlin has an idea. His magic collar. The trouble is that Merlin has absolutely no idea how the collar works.
I want this kennel to be a castle now. Oh, maybe I need to try something else.
Then Merlin remembers. The last time the magic worked, he'd been chasing his tail.
Can you please make this kennel a castle? Now, please. Ooh.
But still nothing happens.
Oh, I wish my kennel was a castle.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
Pray silence, please, for King Merlin and the King's excellent echo.
Your Highness, King Merlin, you called for me?
Yes, I did. There is cleaning to do in the royal bedroom and sausages to cook for the king's banquet. Get to it, would you, my man?
Of course, King Merlin. Your every desire is my command. Well, King Merlin is certainly happy with life in the castle. No Oscar, no chores, and no one bossing him about. In fact, he's so happy that he decides to try another echo. All it takes when you're king is a big introduction.
Pray silence, please, for King Merlin and the King's excellent echo.
Oh, King Merlin, the farmers and peasants are in a bit of a bad mood. It hasn't rained for 3 weeks and the crops are nearly ruined. They want to know what you're going to do about it.
I have it. Tell them I shall perform one of my special echoes.
What a wise and wonderful king you are.
Please, silence, please, for King Merlin. The dog is going to bark.
What's the matter? Why are they booing me?
They need more than your echo, King Merlin. They need someone to tell them what to do. You are the king, and you have to tell people what to do.
Ooh, I'm not sure I like this king stuff. It's not my fault it won't rain. I mean, I'd love it to rain for all these nice people, but I'm not a magician. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, but how do I make this magic collar work?
Ah, King Merlin. There you are, your highness. King Fido the Fearsome from the kingdom next door is ready to make war if you don't give him all of your sausages and your big orange ball by tea time.
He can't have all my sausages. And I love that ball. Oh, I wish it would rain, and I wish King Fido would leave us alone and just be friends.
Well done, King Merlin. I do believe it's starting to rain.
I'm sorry to bother you, King Merlin, but King Fido has sent a message to say sorry for the misunderstanding, and he hopes you'll accept this basket of sausages as a sign of his deep respect and friendship.
Do you know what? I'm feeling so happy, I think it's time to make another echo.
There is one other thing, your highness.
Well, hurry up with it. I've got some echoing to do.
It's about the Queen, King Merlin.
We don't have a queen. We have a king. Me.
Indeed. But your subjects demand a queen. Every king must have a queen.
Oh, I don't want a queen. I'm in charge. I tell people what to do. I don't want a queen telling me what to do. Hey, Gal,
Merlin barks.
fancy a game of hide and seek?
Me, a mere gull, play with the king? Your highness, such a thing is unheard of.
Rage the hedge!
Your highness, King Merlin. What a pleasant surprise.
Fancy a game of tag?
Your highness. I couldn't possibly. You're the king and far too posh to play with a mere hedgehog.
I don't want a queen. In fact, I don't really want to be king anymore. Everyone just does what I say. No one plays with me, and I'm bored with my echoing hall. I want to go back to Sandy Bay Harbour, even if it means cleaning my kennel.
Oh, there you are, your highness. Great news. Your bride is ready, and the wedding ceremony can begin.
But I haven't even met the queen. What if I don't like her?
Come on now, King Merlin. Your people want a wedding, and you shall give them one to remember.
I won't.
You will, dear. Now come along with me.
But I don't want to go.
Pleads King Merlin.
You'll be very happy, King Merlin. Now stand up straight and look regal. Your new queen may want to hear one of your echoes.
I'm not doing one of my echoes.
Merlin desperately tries to make his magic collar work.
I want to go home. Take me back to Sandy Bay. I want my kennel.
King Merlin, meet your lovely queen.
You? Oh, don't make me do it. Oh, I wish I was back in Sandy Bay.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word, there's a good boy, Merlin. See what a difference it makes when you put your back into it. How's about you help me clean up a plate of sausages, eh? Oh, Merlin, it's only an echo. Come here, you damn dog.
magical puppy. He's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you're only a wish away. Merlin, the magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make all his wishes come true.
Mr. Pickles the fisherman and Stanley Crabtree are mending their fishing nets. Like all fishermen, they like nothing better than to pass the time telling each other stories of their adventures at sea.
Well, Stanley, as sure as I'm standing here, this storm blew up a right gale. The boat was being tossed this way and that, and frankly, I couldn't tell if we were pointing up or down. I was holding onto the wheel for all I was worth, but I couldn't control the boat at all. 1 minute we were up, and the next we were down. Batten down the hatches, I called out to the crew. Hold on tight. Giant waves crashed against the boat. There was a crack of lightning and a rumble of thunder, and then the engines failed. We were in the middle of the sea, in the midst of a storm, and we had no engines.
Stanley Crabtree is very impressed.
Oh, well, whatever did you do next?
Yeah, what happened next?
Merlin barks eagerly.
Get on with the story.
There was nothing for it. I had to tie myself to the wheel and ride out the storm.
Wow!
Merlin barks.
Pretty fantastic adventure, Mr. Pickles.
Hello, Merlin.
Ernie says cheerfully.
Saw you listening to Mr. Pickles and Stanley Crabtree. Are they telling stories again? I thought so. Well, I've made you a little present. There. Now you can be captain of your own fishing boat.
Fantastic!
Merlin barks happily, and grabbing the boat, he runs off to play.
All aboard!
Calls Captain Merlin.
Raise the anchor and set a course for the island of sausages. Well, that didn't take very long.
Merlin whines.
What would be really great would be being the captain of a real boat. A grown-up boat like Mr. Pickles had.
Then he remembers his collar. His magical, mystical collar. The problem is, though, Merlin has no idea how it works.
Make me the captain of a really good boat.
Then Merlin remembers an old trick he's used before. He begins to chase his tail.
I want to be captain of my own boat now.
But nothing happens.
Please make me captain of my own boat now.
But still, nothing happens. Merlin closes his eyes and thinks his wish.
Pretty please with cheese, make me captain of my own boat now. Maybe the collar's broken. I'm fed up now. I have to go and dig up Miss Parkway's garden. Oh, I wish I could be captain of my own boat.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
Full ahead, number one.
Aye, aye, skipper.
Oh, yes, this is the life, all right. The fresh air, the challenge of the sea, and being able to boss everyone about. Set a course for the island of sausages, Mr. Ernie.
Aye, aye, Captain Merlin.
Now, what do we do for food on board ship, number two?
Oh, we have to catch it, Captain Merlin. Shall I order the nets to be released?
Yes, I'm starving. I'd like you to catch me some sausages, a nice bone for pud, and a plate of biscuits on the side. Carry on.
Captain Merlin, sir. We can only catch fish.
Fish? Fish? Where there's fish, there's usually a cat. Fish is cat food.
Merlin whines, horrified at the very thought.
Yes, Captain, but Fish is what you get in the sea.
I can't eat fish. I'm a dog, and I'm a captain. I may have to use my magic collar. I'm a dog. I don't eat fish. I'll use my magic collar to fill the sea with sausages and then... Uh-oh. No, they'll be wet and soggy. Oh, it's getting windy and cold. Man the lifeboats! Abandoned ship! Dogs and children first!
No need to panic, Captain Merlin. Just a little storm, nothing to worry about.
Yes, thank you, Midshipman Ernie. I was just practicing the escape procedure. This is a storm, just like Mr. Pickles described in his story. I'd better get to the bridge and take command.
But the storm gets worse.
We're being blown off course. There's nothing for it. I shall have to do what Mr. Pickles did and tie myself to the wheel. Half speed, #1, and bring rope to the bridge, please.
Aye, aye, Captain. Half speed and rope on the bridge, son. We seem to be going round in circles,
Ernie says.
Aye, we are at that,
Replies Mr. Pickles.
I thought Captain Merlin had tied himself to the wheel. Excuse me, Captain, but this is no time to be playing around. We're going around in circles here.
Well, what about me? I'm going round in circles too. Oh, whew, that's better.
Perhaps I should take over, Ernie says, and you can have a little lie down below.
Oh, well, at least that's the end of the storm. Nothing else can possibly happen now.
Oh, help! Mutiny on board! Call the captain!
Mutiny? That sounds bad. I'd better go and see what's going on.
At last, I'm captain of the boat.
Don't worry, everyone.
Merlin barks happily.
I'm feeling much better now and I'm ready to be captain. Why are you tied up?
Mutiny, sir, says Midshipman Ernie. Why, Oscar, the cabin cat.
Oh, it's you. Well, you can get off my boat for a start.
Your boat?
Oscar laughs.
First rule of the sea, Muttonhead Merlin. I'm wearing the eye patch, and therefore I am captain of the boat.
He's right, you know.
Gull squawks.
It's the first rule.
No, he's not.
Merlin barks.
Watch this. I'll use my mystical collar, and then we'll see what's what. Make me captain and make Oscar disappear.
Merlin barks.
Make a great big whale appear and eat Oscar.
Merlin barks even louder.
Oh, right.
Oscar laughs.
You're sunk, Captain Merlin. This is now my boat, and as the new captain, I announce my first order. Time for walkies, dog.
Oscar purrs.
Prepare to walk the plank.
You'll never get away with this, you bad cat.
Merlin growls.
Oh dear. I just remembered I can't swim very well.
Oh, come on, get on with it.
Oscar hisses.
Oh, I wish I was back in Sandy Bay Harbour.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word.
Phew.
Merlin sighs.
That was close.
Oh, look, Merlin. You've tipped over your water bowl. Whatever were you doing? Ernie asks.
Anyway, I have to fix Miss Parkway's fence with this plaque. Fancy a walk?
Not right now.
Merlin yelps.
I've had enough of walking and planks for one day, thank you very much. magical puppy. He's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you're only a wish away. Merlin, the magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make all his wishes come true.
Ernie has taken Merlin out for a drive. They're going to see Albert at the magic shop.
Hello, Ernie. How are things down at Sandy Bay Harbour?
They're fine, thank you, Albert, except for one small problem. It's the Sandy Bay Summer Fair tomorrow, and our man with the puppet show has cancelled. I was wondering if you'd come down and entertain us all with some magic.
Oh, I'd be glad to, Ernie. It'll make a nice change from working in the shop all day.
Oh, that is kind. See you tomorrow, then. That's all sorted, then. Ready, Merlin?
Oh, yes, I'm always ready.
Come on, Merlin, look sharp.
Now what are we going to do?
Well, I've got a lot to do today, Merlin. I have to prepare for the fair tomorrow. So, you're going to have to be a good dog and stay by your kennel.
I'm always a good dog.
But when I'm finished, we'll go home and have sausages for tea.
Sausages? Yippee! My favourite.
Ah, Ernie, there you are. How did you get on with Albert?
Very well, Mr. Pickles. Albert is going to do a magic show for us tomorrow.
Excellent, excellent. A magic show will be just the thing.
Wow, a magic show. I love magic.
Merlin barks. I thought I told you to go and stay by your kennel. Go on now. We've got a lot to do here.
Hello, Merlin. What are you up to?
Gull squawks.
It's the summer fair tomorrow and there's going to be a magic show, but I'm not allowed to join in.
That's because you're clumsy and you'll get in the way.
You will, you know.
I won't.
Merlin barks.
Anyway, I could have my own magic show if I wanted.
Now that I would like to see.
Merlin has an idea. He could use his magic collar to make his own magic show. But the problem is, he can never remember how the collar works.
I need to find somewhere quiet to try out my collar.
How's this looking, Mr. Pickles? Not bad, Ernie. I'd help you out, you know, but my lumbago... lumbago...
While Ernie and Mr. Pickles are preparing the harbour for the summer fair, Merlin has found somewhere quiet to try out his collar. Merlin closes his eyes tightly and makes his wish.
I want my own magic show.
But nothing happens. Merlin decides to try chasing his tail.
Give me my own magic show now, please. Oh, why won't my collar work? I wish I had my own magic show.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
It worked!
Ladies and gentlemen, we present Merlin the Magical Puppy and his amazing magic show.
Thank you. For my first trick, I shall make this orange ball float into the air. I'm not sure how that happened. But I shall carry on with my next trick, which is to make a rabbit appear from this hat.
Where am I?
You're not a rabbit.
Oh, you silly dog. I said you were clumsy.
He did, you know.
Oh dear, this isn't going very well. I need to do my very best trick. Can I have a volunteer, please? Oh no, it's you.
yes, it is. Oscar purrs. I thought I'd help you look even sillier than usual, you silly muttonhead, Merlin. Then Merlin has a naughty idea. He could make Oscar disappear.
For my last and best trick, I am now going to perform the amazing disappearing trick.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. Hello. Nice to meet you. I must say, you do look terribly handsome. That's funny. I was going to say the same thing about you.
Oh dear, that's not right. You're supposed to disappear. Now there are two of you.
I must say, Merlin, I like this trick. Me too. Me three.
Oh, this is terrible. I don't want to do a magic show anymore. I wish I was back in Sandy Bay Harbour. Phew, I'm back. That was a terrible wish.
Oh, there you are.
Gull squawks.
Albert was looking for you. The magic show is just about to begin.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to see my special magic show. Now for my first trick, I shall make Oscar Cat here disappear. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't try this at home. I am a trained magician. So, would anyone like to help me make Oscar disappear? Anyone? Merlin? Please?
No, thank you.
Merlin barks.
I've had enough magic for one day. One Oscar is quite enough for me. Thank you. Merlin the magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you only wish away. Merlin, the magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make all his wishes come true.
It's a peaceful day in Sandy Bay Harbour. In the grocery shop, Miss Parkway is telling Mrs. Crabtree the latest news.
Anyway, all I can tell you is that when I returned, the meat pies were gone. All 3 of them.
All 3 stolen from your kitchen table? Good heavens, who'd have thought?
And that's not all, Mrs. Crabtree.
Miss Parkway adds,
There were little paw marks on my highly polished linoleum.
Little paw marks? How strange. Perhaps it was a fox or a dog.
If you ask me, it was one dog in particular. Black, small, and wearing a...
"Morning, ladies. A lovely day, wouldn't you say?" Ernie says cheerfully.
What can I do for you this morning, Mr. Harbour Master?
"I'd like a pound of sausages, please, Mrs. Crabtree," Ernie says.
Of course, dear. They're gone! All of them!
Did you see that? A tail! I distinctly saw a black tail!
Miss Parkway exclaims.
And I have to say, Mr. Harbour Master, that I believe it was Merlin's tail. Your dog!
Outside, Oscar is feeling very pleased with himself.
Disguising myself as Merlin. What an absolutely wonderful idea. With any luck, he'll be kicked right off the harbour.
Mr. Pickles and Stanley Crabtree are taking advantage of the sunny weather to enjoy a spot of fishing.
What have you got in your sandwiches today, then?
Mr. Pickles asks.
Tuna, I think.
Replies Mr. Crabtree.
What about you?
A nice bit of beef with my own special homemade mustard. Very nice indeed, I can tell you.
Sounds lovely. May I taste one of your sandwiches?
Be my guest,
Says Mr. Pickles.
They're hot, mind. They're gone. Someone has stolen me sandwiches.
Not someone.
Mr. Crabtree says.
Look, paw prints.
I have a feeling,
Mr. Pickles says thoughtfully,
that a little black puppy we both know is going to get a little shock when he tries eating my special homemade mustard.
Ooh. Hot tongue.
Hopefully that'll teach him a lesson he won't forget.
Mr. Pickles chuckles.
I didn't know that cats buried bones.
Reg the Hedge says.
Oh, cats don't, but young Merlin does. At least people will think he does. I'll never understand cats.
Merlin? Don't play innocent with me, you little rascal. I know exactly what you've been up to.
Ernie roars.
Me? I've had complaints from all around the harbour. Meat pies stolen, sausages stolen, beef sandwiches stolen, and digging. I've told you 100 times about digging.
I've been asleep.
Merlin whines.
I've got witnesses. You ask my blanket. You can ask Gull.
What?
Gull squawks, waking suddenly.
Enough,
Ernie says.
I am the harbour master, and I've got to keep order round here. You are grounded. No lunch and no supper. I at least thought you'd be grown up enough to own up.
Poor Merlin. Everyone is angry with him, and he doesn't know why.
I haven't stolen any food, and I haven't been digging up gardens. Not today, anyway. But everyone seems to think I have. In which case, someone else has. All I need to do is to find out who, and then everyone will be my friend again. The trouble is, no one will talk to me. I need a detective to solve this mystery.
Then Merlin has an idea.
I don't need a detective. I've got a magic collar. I can be a detective. All I need is to make the collar work. Now, let's see. Make me a great detective.
But nothing happens.
Maybe if I chase my tail. Make me a great detective. Make me a great detective.
Poor Merlin. He knows the collar is magic, but he has no idea how it works.
Make me a detective. I want to be a detective.
Nothing seems to have worked, and Merlin may have to forget his plans to become a detective and forget about finding out who's been stealing food and digging.
Oh, I wish I could be a detective.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
Inspector Merlin here. Really? Pies, you say? Sausages, you say? And digging? Of course. Leave it to Inspector Merlin of the Yard.
Inspector Merlin has a case. Rule 1 of good police work: surveillance. Watch the likely places for criminal activity, remembering at all times to stay keen, alert, and ready for anything. But when something does happen, you have to be ready to pounce. Rule 2 of good police work is to carefully examine the evidence, being sure to put it somewhere safe so that you can produce it later. Rule 3 of good police work is to interview your witnesses in great detail in order to get a clear picture of events.
I can't understand a word he's saying, Mr. Crabtree.
Neither can I, Mr. Pickles, but he's wearing a very nice hat.
Rule 4 of good police work is to show cunning and patience in questioning your suspect, staying calm and in control. The final rule of good police work is to carefully plan the arrest of your suspect, leaving nothing to chance. Can I help you, Merlin? Even with the help of his magical collar, Merlin hasn't been a very successful police dog. He's just about to give up when...
I'm telling you, Mr. Crabtree, it's all about using the right bait. You'll never catch anything without the right bait.
That's what I need.
Merlin barks happily.
Bait. Then I can catch the real crook.
Inspector Merlin studies his special old dusty police trap book.
I wish there was a brilliant trap that would catch the food thief and then everyone would know it wasn't me.
Oh, hiss and boo. A brilliant trap.
Merlin is feeling very pleased with himself, but at that moment Mrs. Crabtree appears looking very cross.
First my sausages are stolen, and then someone steals my blue washing basket. If I get my hands on the culprit...
Oh, I don't want to be a policeman anymore. I wish I was back home and everything was back to normal again.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word...
Ooh.
Merlin, we owe you an apology. We've just found out that Oscar has been stealing food and trying to make it look as if it were you all along.
We bought you some special homemade sausages as a present, and we hope you will forgive us for not trusting you,
Mrs. Crabtree says. Merlin is pleased.
Well, I may not have been a very good police inspector, but I can certainly inspect these sausages.
Merlin the magical pie poppy, he's the poppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you're only a wish away. Merlin, the magical poppy, he's the poppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make all his wishes come true.
Well, George, Stanley Crabtree says, are you looking forward to fishing in Sandy Bay? Yes, Stanley, George Crabtree replies. I remember we used to fish together like this when we were little.
There's two Mr. Crabtrees.
Barks Merlin.
Right, Uncle Stanley!
Charlotte says.
Hello.
Right, Uncle George!
Hello to you, young Charlotte, George Crabtree replies.
Merlin!
I'm confused.
Merlin, says Stanley Crabtree. Have you met my twin brother George? Pleased to meet you, Merlin.
Help! I'm seeing double.
I hope I didn't upset him.
I don't think Merlin knows what twins is.
I think we may have given poor Merlin quite a shock.
I wonder what's got into him.
Gull squawks.
Do you know where Merlin is?
Hiding under his blanket over there.
Merlin, are you in there?
No!
You don't have to be afraid. You weren't seeing double. That was my Uncle Stanley and his twin brother George.
There were two of them. I'm going mad.
They're twins, silly. Twins looks alike. If you had a twin, he'd be just like you.
What? Exactly like me?
Pretty much. When my Uncle Stanley and his twin brother George were children, people were always getting them muddled up because they look exactly the same.
So if I had a twin, he'd be just like me. He'd like digging and sausages and annoying pesky cats and we could play together.
Yeah, except for you don't have a twin, do you, silly?
One Merlin is more than enough around here, thank you.
Well, now you know that you're not going mad. Uncle Stanley and George are twins, that's all. Cheerio!
Imagine if I had a twin. It'd be fantastic. We could dig up Miss Parkway's garden together and play with my bouncy blue ball and then have sausages for tea.
Then Merlin thinks of his collar, his magical, mystical collar.
I know. I'll use my collar. Give me a twin brother now.
But that doesn't work.
Maybe if I chase my tail. Give me a twin brother now.
But even after all the tail chasing, nothing seems to work. Merlin has a good, hard think.
Oh, nothing seems to be working. Oh, I wish I had a twin brother.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
This is strange. My collar brought me here, but I wished for a twin brother. Why are they all laughing? What's going on?
Merlin barks.
It's Max, your twin brother.
Reg the Hedge says.
He knows some very funny jokes.
He has been making us laugh.
Kizzy chuckles.
He is so funny.
Gull squawks.
I've laughed so much my beak hurts.
Merlin is a bit jealous that his new twin brother seems to be so popular.
Well, I know some good jokes too.
Merlin barks.
They won't be as funny as your twin brother's jokes, Oscar purrs. But Merlin decides to tell his favourite joke anyway.
Why do people who play golf always take an extra shoe with them?
Oh, I don't know.
In case they get a hole in one.
What's golf? Reg the Hedge asks.
Actually, that reminds me of a funny story.
Barks Merlin's twin brother Max.
I walked into a golf club once. Oh, it really hurt.
That was my best joke, and no one laughed. Hey, that's my favourite bouncy blue ball. I want to play with that.
Oh, don't be a spoil sport, Merlin. You can't always have your own way. You should share with your twin.
Merlin is so used to being the only puppy around that he hasn't really thought about sharing before.
Okay, we can all play with my ball.
It isn't long before Merlin is enjoying himself with his friend and his new twin brother. Merlin, could I have a word with you for a moment, please? Merlin, I'm very happy that you have a new friend, but have you thought about where he's going to live?
With us, of course.
Well, the thing is, we only have one kennel and enough room back at the house for one puppy, and that's you.
Oh dear, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, you're going to have to think about it, because Max will need somewhere to live.
What's the matter, Merlin?
Charlotte asks.
You look very miserable.
Oh, nothing.
Merlin barks.
I need to think of something. It was my wish that caused this problem.
Come on, Merlin. Wake up. You missed the ball.
Then Merlin has an idea.
I used my magic collar to make my twin appear, and maybe I can use it again to find him somewhere to live. But where? I can't think of anything. I wish someone would come up with an idea.
As soon as Merlin says the magic wish word,
Well, Stanley, I really have enjoyed my visit. It's been lovely seeing you all. Makes a nice change from being on my own. It's been a treat for us too, George.
Stanley Crabtree says,
You must come and visit again soon.
I'll fetch the car, Ernie says, and drive you to the station. Just a minute, George. Did you say you live alone?
Yes, it can be quite lonely at times.
Well, I have an idea. How would you like a little puppy of your own?
Oh, what a good idea! You did say Merlin was a handsome little chap. Why don't you get yourself a little puppy? Well, I could, couldn't I? But where would I find one?
Here! Right here!
Merlin's right, Ernie laughs. We have a little chap here called Max who's looking for a home.
Oh, I see. Well, it looks like we make a perfect match, doesn't it?
Well, I'm glad we found my twin brother a home.
Won't be long, Merlin. I just have to get this back on the boat and then we can go home for tea.
Another twin!
Don't be silly, Merlin, Ernie laughs. It's only a mirror.